following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys are joined by a special guest as they discuss rhythm and flow, someone trying to change the alphabet song, NFL Week 8, and NBA early impressions. As always, they answer listener questions and wrap things up with some trivia. On to the show.
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? Chill, cool, out, money, West Coast, let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it trail, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me now. Who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, forget out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't the Defy Life. Told you. This is the Shy Life. I'm gonna let this ride out though. This is the Defy Life. This is the Defy Life. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Check us out at defylifepods.com and all other podcast platforms. As always, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating whenever you listen. You can also find us on all social media platforms at Go Defy Life. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 131, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, J.R. Glenf, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Gerald Hedrick. And today, we got regular Scott and a special guest. We got Ladine. How's it going today, Gerald?
Yo, man, you already know, man. It's the real himself. The real is back. Yo, it's 2 for Tuesdays, man. I'm glad to be here. It's been a long day. Great day of work. Great day at Defy Life. And now I'm on here with my peoples. Welcome. Glad to be back, man. How are you?
No doubt. I'm good, man. Quick question. Since it seems to be a running theme tonight, what you sipping on?
I'm sipping on a little rain vodka. Little pineapple, a little Sprite. You know, doing it a little light. It was homecoming weekend, man. I can't go too heavy.
No doubt. Well, you got your pinky out while you drinking that pretty shit?
Yeah, my pinky all the way out. And I got a straw.
Straw.
What's up?
All right. Well, I ain't gonna ask you if you got an umbrella stuck at the top, but all right, cool. No doubt. Yeah, man. Good to hear your voice. Regular Degular, as he's so affectionately called by Gerald Hedrick. Regular Scott, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure to be on the flagship. And there's definitely an umbrella in that drink.
Hey, I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, you called it. Yeah, man. It's good to have you here, man. It's always good to have you here. And you ain't a guest no more at this point. You home, so, you know, you done went in the fridge already. I don't know what you got. What you sipping on tonight, man?
So, you know, I just grabbed me a nice Corona Extra. You know, just a beer.
Okay.
Just something to sip on, you know, get through. Probably about 2 or 3 of them throughout the show.
Okay.
I'm messing with Corona. Hey,
right.
regular Degular, what's good, man? We haven't been on the show in a minute.
I know, man. And look, you about to get your own show. Congratulations on that as well.
Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Hey, you definitely have an open invite to the show, man. When we get it cranked up, man. I'd love to have you on the show, man.
Well, good. I appreciate that. We could talk about season 2 of Titans.
Oh man, come on. You already took one of my answers.
There's a little teaser for you right there.
All right. Oh man, yeah. I think it's been a minute since I heard y'all on any episode together. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Last, definitely not least, we got a special guest. She's a star from the Defy Life Trivia Battleground. Some of the most memorable moments from season 2. Ladine,
Whoever
the
could that
lovely
be?
Ladine, how's it going today?
It's great. Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be on. This is going to be pretty dope. I'm excited.
Damn right. Yeah, it's, I can't try to remember the last. When's the last time we had some estrogen on the show?
It's been a minute. I'm probably the 100th, and that was just people saying y'all dope as fuck.
Right.
Keep going.
Exactly. So, they might be you making history at this point. You're the first actual co-host, female co-host we've had on the show.
I mean, I does that. I'm sipping on my pink Moscato, so it's all good.
You already knew what my next question was. No doubt. We needed a woman's touch around here. Shit getting shabby. Pooh ain't been around to clean shit up in a while. Al running around having temper tantrums. He's suspended for the night.
God, Lee, you suspended my man?
Yeah, suspended him. Yes, we did to him. West Coast Jay. Yeah, West Coast Jay out there fighting fires in Cali. Pooh in superhero training. Man, it's crazy around here. It's hard to keep this office up with just me and money. So thank you, Lay, for stepping in and adding a woman's touch to the show this week.
Was all that on the memo desk?
It was on the memo desk.
That came through on the memo desk. Yeah, it came through in the offices in downtown Nebraska.
Right.
A busy day.
It is. And being that it was NFL trade deadline day, I think it came through the fax machine. So...
you got a fax?
We got a fax. We got a fax machine. I think, as far as we know, Aaron Rodgers might have got traded to the Patriots, and nobody knows it came to our fax machine, but we ain't telling. We don't know. So if it came through our fax and didn't get to the memo desk, we don't know shit about it. But it's gonna be a good show, man. We as usual, before we get to the meat of the show, just a little bit of house cleaning. October is wrapping up, everyone, and we all know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Definitely go out there and to DefyLifeGear.com. Get your breast cancer awareness t-shirts, the dope Defy Life version. Money has some folks that put in a special order. So outside of the black and the white money, they hit us with that pink on pink. And it was dope. So if y'all you want to support 10% of those proceeds, do go to Sisters Network to help people fighting breast cancer and survivors of breast cancer. So definitely check that out. If you don't support through us, support somewhere. And again, money, your cohort is not here, but Regular Scott touched on it. We are another week closer to your new show, man. How you guys feeling about it?
Man, planning is going great, man. We're excited. We still bouncing around ideas and bouncing around topics. We think we have a really good map of the segments that we want to bring. But we really can go anywhere. So I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be dope, man. Even just us talking about the show can be a show because we both clowns, and so man, it's going really, really well. Can't wait to launch and have everybody check us out, man. But we're gonna definitely have a lot of listener feedback, going to our bags and really kind of bring y'all, a little bit different perspective from what we cover on the Defy Life show. So man, we're really excited.
No doubt, man. And,
I am so excited for you. I'm sorry to interrupt, Jay, but I have to say that I'm so excited for your show to come up because I love me some money. I always hear about how amazing your brain is. I love a man with a good brain. There's nothing like it. And then Jay, he's such another brain. So it's like to have these two amazing brains on a show, but yet you guys can be comical. You can just stand in so many different ways of being at once that to me, I just think this show is going to be dope. And I'm really excited to hear what y'all got in store for us. Yes.
All right. Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. And, it kind of dawned on us after the idea was Money and West Coast are the only single dudes on this show. So it kind of lends a different perspective on things that they don't really get to go in depth on here so much because we always give our opinions from the married dude's perspective when it's, me, Al, Pooh, Yosh is divorced, and so he's been there. And even when regular Scott's on, like it's always a married dude perspective. So to have you dudes like go into different viewpoints of things that we don't really get to dig into so much here, I'm excited to hear it. And so everybody check out next week will be Money in West Coast's final show on the Defy. Well, not final ever, but final episode as official co-host. They'll definitely be back. But yeah, before they start their own thing. So next week will be the a send off. We will try to prevent Yosh from playing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday 50 million times on the show. Actually.
Good luck.
Right. So
Good luck.
Well, yeah, man. So that's all we got for some house cleaning. Just wanted to mention a couple things, but we're gonna jump into some news tidbits. First off, I want to play something for y'all, and if your heart breaks, if you start like it's like violently vomiting and just get the shakes, don't blame me. Just listen. Man, what the fuck?
So questioning if I know my ABCs.
Right. So apparently somebody thought it was a good idea to redo the alphabet song and change everybody's favorite part. How the hell you gonna take away the LMNOP? That's what everybody look forward to when you 7 and you done nailed your ABCs and you know that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
just hang on for a little bit longer. I'll be back.
What's
up, fuckers?
That was Yosh peeking his head in the door. Let us know he outside.
There goes that explicit warning.
Right. Go ahead and click that button right quick.
Yeah,
I'm
just gotta
upset about this, though.
click that button.
Talk about this?
Yo, yeah, so, Lay. So,
Yeah.
let's say you 2 learning your ABCs. What was your favorite part of the song?
That's my point. Like when you go to teach a child, having 2 children, one of the best parts is when you teach them the ABCs, and when they get to the LMNOP, how they say it. That's like, I mean, growing up, learning it myself, of course, but really, I was always very aware of the way other children pronounced or enunciated their ABCs, and it was always so dope. And how can you take out the whole LMNOP? There's nothing doper than listening to a child say their ABCs, and when they get to that point, how they say it. That like it creates something new in the family. Every time a new child is born into the family and they learn their ABCs, it totally creates something different. I mean, it's dope. It's beautiful. Whether or not they get it till they're 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, I mean, what are you going to do?
Oh, no, that's too long. That's too long, but I understand what you're saying.
I know that's too long, but I'm just saying it's always dope to hear them when they're like 2, 3, and 4, and then NOP. Like, come on, that's the best part.
Yo, so when I heard it, it was cringeworthy. Like I played it, and I played it through the stereo system, so I could really get it. And the joint came through the speakers, and it broke it down. And it was cringeworthy. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know if subconsciously I just rejected it because I've been hearing that song for 35 plus years, and like the same way every time. So I don't know if I just reject it because it's not that way, or if that shit is really horrible. So, I'm very, very biased to it. I don't like it at all. Scrap it. Put a fork in it. It's done. Never want to hear it again. Yeah, whoever made that, you can kick rocks and spin off, as Yosh would say.
So, Scott, as our resident mixed guy on the network,
Yep.
you know this is you know a white lady's responsible for this, right?
My man, that wasn't even. There was no doubt in my mind about that. Just like it was the white lady that was doing that crazy math problem and took her 2 hours to do. So that doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, it is.
What is shocking is that this song had me questioning whether I have I been wrong about the alphabet? Like, is the alphabet different? Like, what's going on with why is it coming out like this? Like,
It's like 6 extra letters in there.
yeah, like I felt like the song was like 2 minutes long instead of it being like 30 seconds. Like, I'm like, this is way too long. Like, what? I need to hear this again. Then I had to pause it, be like, what? It had me all messed up for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and first thing I was just like, what in the raisins in my potato salad and Pluto is not a planet anymore is going on around here? I was, what the fuck? Like, you don't do that. You just don't.
It's one of those things where I feel like somebody had a little bit too much free time on their hands.
Yeah, why would you change that? Like, why would you get? Hey, I know what I'm gonna do today. Like,
Right.
Yeah, you know how does that come up and you record it and like, you know what? This goes on YouTube.
Yeah. Scott, I think you might want to find out who did this and talk about them on your show, because they are an absolute fucking villain. They need to be dealt with. This is some serious shit.
And this obviously I think is part of a bigger plan.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is the beginning, because now I feel like people are gonna think, oh, we can just change all of these songs.
Right.
no, you can't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yo, my grandma was a teacher. My bad, y'all. So
I ain't never learned those songs for the
you
numbers.
didn't learn that one?
No, I didn't learn those songs for the numbers.
Nah, I learned that on Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
11, 12.
Right.
I learned it in Spanish in the song form, but that's about it.
You gotta give us some of that. You gotta give us some of that.
That's why I say, what you waiting on?
Well, no, because Spanish is different. So,
We
they
know.
can teach you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Regular. That's not the song, though. I want to hear
I
the
want to hear
song.
that song.
And then, what's
Scott
her name?
rapping.
Dora, she would sing it to the kids. I remember when the kids learned it, and they would go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Right.
That's dope.
In English, I never sung numbers in English. Absolutely not.
So, Yosh, did Yosh poke his head back in the door?
Yeah, I'm back here.
All right. So, say Mir comes home, Mir and Edison, they come home and they singing the ABC song, and they get to the LMNOP part and they totally like remix it, and there's no more LMNOP. Are you going to the school first thing in the morning?
No, I don't give a damn. Tell you the
What?
goddamn truth. I don't care.
Yosh, LMNOP has brought joy to every kid in the history of this country.
I understand. Listen, I understand that, but to go to the school, no, I don't give a shit.
I go to
I'm
school
gonna
for
tell
you.
him.
Call Uncle
I'm
Jay.
gonna
I'm
tell-
going up there.
I'm going to. Me and them will sing it at the house.
True that. But then they
We
gonna
will
go to
sing it.
school.
We will sing it at the house, and then I'll tell them to go sing it at school.
Rebellion. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm building leaders over here, man. We ain't followers.
Well,
We
call
gonna
me.
LMNO.
I'm going to
LMNO.
everybody's
To
school.
my grandkids, trying to change it. I'm singing it to my grandkids, talking about LMNOP.
Right. That's like
I ain't even going through all that. I'm just walking up on them. LMNO.
that's right. Like
And
that's iconic. Like you can walk up to anybody, any stranger on the street, anywhere in this country, and just say LMNOP, and they gonna know what you're talking about. They know
Yo,
exactly. They gonna
that's that
finish
ABC
the
song, dog.
Right, exactly. Like
That's that ABC.
tragedies. Just lost my childhood.
Just gone.
Gone, right?
Another one bites the dust.
Anyway, man, I don't know. But again, we always talk about this new generation with their new math and.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. First it was new math, now it's
Right.
this shit.
They paint with no lead in it. Whatever. Pussies. Anyway.
All that damn healthy food at school.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
No more fried chicken day.
No more pizza. You got to dab the grease off the top of it. Man, come on.
No more beef stew day.
Exactly.
I'm a teacher. I miss them shits. Damn it.
Oh man, gotta love it. Well,
All they giving out is
hopefully
low fat milk.
man, I don't even want to talk about that.
So wait, they're still giving out milk, like cow's milk?
Yeah, they just milk. Like they don't juice no more. They give out milk.
Oh, now money
They
too good
give
for
out-
milk. No, I'm just kidding.
And Lincoln complained the other day. He said, "Mommy, there was a milk bag that had mold in it a few times," and he gave it back to the lunch lady. I said, "That is absolutely disgusting that they even think that's okay to serve that in the school." But anyway,
Yo, I almost had to go slap Mir teacher. I sent Mir with a dance.
That's why we don't send you to the school. You
Listen,
slapping teachers and shit.
now, well, I almost had to slap her twice. The first time was Amir said to me, and I know it's not funny, but I'm gonna make a joke out of it because I was pissed the fuck off. But she was like, Amir asked me, he says, because Amir, the school he was at before coming here was a predominantly black school. And now he's at a predominantly white school where he's like one of 2 black students in the class. And in the first grade, I think it's only like 4 of them out of 4 classes total. And so Amir came home and was like, "Yo, he thinks that his teacher doesn't like him." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Cause I'm the only brown. I'm brown." And I was like, "Now, shit pissed me off. It was funny because he said I'm brown, but it pissed me off because kids are kids are not only sensitive but they're intuitive.
Right.
And if he picked up on that, that means she's doing some shit that she
Absolutely.
stop. So,
right.
but if you go to sit in the class, the teacher's gonna act on their best behavior. So I don't even go up there because if I go up there, she's gonna be phony and I'm gonna slap the shit out of her. So that's the first one. So the second
Well, you're
time,
definitely not gonna slap the shit out of her.
okay,
But
all right, that's cool.
Then you going to jail.
You could just like pretend you're one of the other kids' dad. Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I
my
could.
bad.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can't pretend because there ain't there many of them. But what I mean by that is, like, I think that, like, with me, like, don't mess with my kid. But moving on because that was real sensitive for me because Amir was crying. But then, like, so he doesn't drink milk. Amir just doesn't drink milk. So I don't even force him to anymore. So I got these juices that I send him with. I didn't have any. So I gave him like the Lipton brisk, the small bottle of Lipton tea, and put it in his bag. He said he took it to the lunch, and the teacher took it from him and poured the shit out.
What?
I was like, this motherfucker.
Can't drink brisk? The hell?
Yeah, like I don't know what the hell. And she said that and what Mir. Now you can't ask a 6-year-old what happened because that is. She just took it because she don't like me. Okay, no, that couldn't have been it. But she just that's all I got, so it upset me. So I didn't go up there. So I'm not the best person to send anywhere because when it comes to my kids, I say what the fuck on my mind and dare you to say some shit. So it's just I don't.
And you go send me like you go up there like Terry Crews, like Chris Rock dad. You're like, woman, that's 18 cents worth of brisk you just poured out.
Yeah,
Hell wrong with you?
You done poured out all that damn brisk. That
Right.
damn pack cost me $8. You just
Hell no.
give me my money back. Give me my $2 back. So whatever that do the new math and tell me how much that shit is supposed to expect me. But I just think, like all of that changing stuff, I think people are just trying to make it easier for them. Because if you can't say LMNO, like, shit, get the fuck on somewhere. Like, go
I still don't know why how the teacher poured out his risk. I'm very upset about this.
Yeah, no, I just and had I told Lynn.
Oh my God.
Now Lynn not me, but Lynn gonna complain to me like I'm the teacher. Like I was the one that threw out the bricks. That's why I ain't tell her.
Well,
Like,
you better hope Lynn don't listen to this episode.
What did she think? Did she think it was Hennessy in there or something? Like, why would she pour it out? I don't understand.
I mean,
She
she's
poured
right.
it. And then this one of the girls' coaches is he's one of the teachers at Mir School. He tried to make a joke out the shit. He was like, Mir, did you ever get that juice bag? And started giggling. I said, nah, we ain't for the jokes now. I just had to calm him down.
That's
I was like, we ain't for the jokes now.
Man, set your ass down.
No. He said, oh no, I didn't mean nothing by it. It was just a joke. I said, no, don't joke with him about shit he's sensitive about. He's like, oh, okay, right. okay, yeah, let's leave my children out of it now.
I think the administrators at our children's school, they're very aware of exactly who I am. And they know that if I'm coming up in there, because the problem, I just had to recently go up in there. So JR and I now, we ask the kids, they're 10 and 12 now. So we ask them, okay, what exactly happened? Because if you don't tell me what happened, I'm going to know what happened before I leave that school. And now I may be a New York, Puerto Rican. I can get very hood on a motherfucker very quick. Let's not get it twisted.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but my mother also taught me how to be a classy lady. And so I understand how to put people in their place professionally. I know how to do that very well. I love me some wordplay. I mean, I can get at somebody without saying not a damn cuss word in my mouth. Okay? So it's beautiful. But I had to do the other day, but we always have to ask the kids, okay, exactly what happened, because mommy's definitely going in there. But I need to know what happened, because if they come at me with a different story, then I can't have your fucking back. So you need to let me know what you did and all your faults so that I know how to address this shit accordingly. Otherwise, we all fucked.
In other words, who the hell told you to come in this house and remove LMNOP? We are going to have this conversation. Damn right. Hell told you that was cool. But I don't know. So now we know Yosh and Lay can't be sent to the school. Scott, me, you, and Money.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool, calm, and collected. I can talk to him for a little bit.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, so, and you got to get practice in anyway.
Yeah, I got to practice while he's still young.
Right, so, yeah, and, Money, go in there telling people it's 2 for Tuesdays. We just send Money on the school on Tuesdays. Money go right up in the school, yo.
You already know.
My kid in school suspension. It's 2 for Tuesday. We ain't having that shit. Who the fuck took LMNOP out the song, B?
To put it back on the real ain't coming back.
Right.
You already know.
If you ain't rocking with LMNOP, what the fuck is your life about?
Yeah.
The realest here, he don't want to be.
Right. Oh, man. Well, I don't know. Scott, again, man, get to the bottom of it. Figure out who that is. Make him a villain, because this is treacherous. We can't have
I've already made it. I've already made a couple of calls. I called there's a podcast group called Black Mass. They have 36 members, so they're all 36 are going to
on one show.
I heard,
no, it's 15.
But I heard that on your last episode. So are they all on at once, or do they rotate? How do they handle that?
So there is legit 12 to 15 members on this podcast, and you never know who's going to show up. It could be 2 people one week, and then the next week there's 8 of them there, and then there's one week where there's 12 of them there, and everybody's like, yo, we need enough time. This will end up being a 3.5-hour podcast.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I can't do. Yeah, listen, those I can't. If it's too many voices, I'm out, son. I got to go.
That's crazy.
You're not getting my. I'll keep it playing just to show you love, but I'm not listening. I'm not listening to that fool.
It's a lot of voices.
Yeah, it's just a lot of voices, a lot of. Then nobody's opinion can be fully thought, or, fully heard, because you got to move on to the next person so quickly. No format.
So at any given episode, their show length could be 29 minutes. or 5 hours. You got to roll the dice on that shit.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's crazy. Wow. And I love y'all, but if I had to talk to 12 of y'all at one time, we wouldn't do that shit often. I'd be like, I'm sick tonight. I'm out saving lives with Pooh.
That's like doing a battleground times 3.
Yeah. Every week,
man.
That's a lot. Like a battleground's a lot. You know what I mean? Like doing that's a lot.
Right. Yeah. Whew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Wow. Some of us long-winded.
Right.
Some.
I mean, I know I'm long-winded, but
Yeah,
some
that's what I was
others of
hitting
us,
at, yeah.
some others of us are long-winded also.
Shout out Uncle Oz.
Right. It's like everybody on this network long-winded, but Pooh.
Man, listen, I done heard heard Scott try to get a word in.
Right.
Okay. You just give up.
Right.
I'll wait.
That's exactly how it'd be. All right, you got it.
I give up.
Yeah, you got it.
Like, fuck, I'm out.
Oh,
Go
man.
ahead. Go ahead.
So, all right. So, Lay, I know this is one reason I wanted to have Lay on tonight. And Yosh, I know you watched Rhythm and Flow as well.
No, I did not.
No?
No.
I thought you watched Rhythm and Flow.
You talking about the T.I. show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw T.I. and said I want to watch it.
Oh, it's dope. You got to watch it. So,
Now, here's the thing. When you put it in the thing, I tried to watch it today, but it was just too much going on in my class. I actually had to teach the students today.
oh, I didn't say watch the class, but yeah.
I couldn't watch Netflix because I actually had to teach them.
Oh, man.
We was doing Julius Caesar, so.
All right. So, the reason I wanted to have this.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Right. So the reason I wanted to have this conversation is because really the show itself, like outside of this, how our love for hip hop on this show, but the format of the show, like for those of you who don't know, Rhythm and Flow, it's a competition. It's a hip hop competition, essentially like The Voice hip hop style, right? But like the concept of the show, which is why I want to talk about it, is because when did American Idol came out? When? Late 90s, early 2000s?
Sheesh, I want to say like 1990,
Late
maybe like 2001, maybe.
Yeah, it might be 2001, 2002, because it wasn't on before I came to South Carolina.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I
I
was
was
like
like,
2000. I want to say somewhere around 2001. Where
Early 2000s,
Wasn't Ruben the first winner?
Kelly
No,
Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson was the
Okay,
first
and
one.
Kelly
then-
Clarkson.
Okay, that was probably 01.
Yeah. I think it was Kelly Clarkson and then Fantasia and then Ruben.
No, Ruben. I think Ruben was second.
Ruben was second?
Yeah, I think Ruben was second.
All right. Well, either way. So it's been on at least almost 20 years. All right.
It was 02. It was 02.
02? Okay. Yeah. So we're looking at
Sounds
almost
good.
20 years of, since the beginning of these type of shows. And every now and then you see a twist on it. Like you see, like American Idol was just really auditions straight to Hollywood and then just performances. And then you got the Four, which is Puffy and DJ Khaled. So they put a little twist on that as well. They got The Voice where the judges have their backs turned, so they put a twist on that. Mm-hmm. But what I like what they did on Rhythm and Flow is they actually took them through the career of a hip hop artist. So of course,
really dope.
Yeah.
Really
So
dope.
and as annoying as T.I. and Cardi B can get, they actually lended a lot of good insight, and it's dope as well because they have between not so much T.I. right now because he's moved on to other things, but to have Cardi B and Chance the Rapper as judges, you don't really see currently relevant artists as judges on those shows. All right. And so to have the premier hip hop artist in the world right now in Cardi B, and to have Chance the Rapper on there who's also highly relevant, is a big boost for that show as well. But they start them off. Of course, their auditions, and they go to their different cities. So Chance is from Chicago. He's responsible for getting talent from his city. And
there are people from other cities that come to each edition also.
Right.
Yeah, so that's also dope.
So Chance was in Chicago. He did all the Midwest. And then they have guests come on to help them. So on Chance's audition episodes, they'd have like Twista and like some other Midwest artists be judges, Lupe. Chance went out to L.A. and they actually had a scene where he went to Nipsey's school.
That was actually T.I. So
T.I. went out there, right?
Sorry, Chance, Cardi, and T.I. They all went out to L.A. The first episode actually debuts Nipsey on the episode, and it was one of his last recorded shows. So that was pretty dope. Everything about this show is dope. So if y'all ain't watched it yet, y'all really gotta watch it.
Right. Exactly. But I just like the concept that they went through. So they started out with the auditions, and then they, from all the different cities, and then they come together. Like Cardi had Fat Joe and Jadakiss in New York getting people. T.I. went to Atlanta. He had Killer Mike in the barbershop. It was dope. Yeah. So they go through the auditions, and then they, as the season progresses, they actually take them through like your career as a hip hop artist. So after the auditions, you come in for the auditions in front of all the judges. And then like they go through episodes where you're in a cypher, and then they go to like battle rap. And then and so every time somebody's getting cut down. So every time you go through a different step, of course, the numbers are getting dwindled, and, it's kind of, survival of the fittest. So they go to like ciphers and battle rap, and
I think they started out between 32 and 36 artists, right,
30,
Jay?
30.
There you go. And then they automatically cut it down to 16. So the first round is like crazy, but it's kind of great at the same time, because it's like, with all due respect to all you artists, bing, 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 you off. And it really breaks them down to the ones that are really skilled, really artists at heart. It was just dope. For me, everything about that show, just exactly what Jay said, because it brought you through the career of a rapper, what they do. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. So it started with the ciphers, right? And then it was the battle rap, and then you did like your own video, basically like repping your hood, which was hella dope. And then they did another one where they did a hook on an R&B song.
And then,
where they were featured on it. So that was, oh my God.
Right. And they matched them up to like real artists with real hits. So they were actually featured on like some, pretty big artist songs. So you go through that part, and you go through the part of, again, directing, like setting up and directing your own video. And picking, another episode was like where they picked their own samples. You had to sample your own song and produce your own song. And then, so all that leading up to an award show performance. So it's just fucking dope. And like, just and I say it because we've seen, in hip hop in particular, we've seen like these kind of shows that just don't quite work because they don't, like, you can't treat hip hop the same way you do a pop artist. And so to have them go through those steps, and because it's a different grind and it's a different art, and to see them go through those steps, and for someone who's gone through a lot of those steps, it's like really intimate. And it's on Netflix, so it's no commercials, and it's uncut. They cussing, they say, so even the judges are talking how they really talk. And like the fruit of the whole thing was the winner. It's a dude by the name of D Smoke from Inglewood. When I say dude is dope,
he's fucking everything and more. Y'all gotta watch it. His tracks will make you start fucking dancing just watching the episode. You're gonna be like, yes, nigga, do that shit. It was It was everything. I'm telling you, y'all really got to watch this shit. And I know a lot of people get annoyed with Cardi B. I'm a huge Cardi B fan. I wasn't in the beginning because she's very much of a character, right? She reminds me of a cartoon character because she's incredibly animated. But if you follow Cardi and you watch her, like when she talks to Bernie, and when you actually watch her and she decides and she chooses to articulate herself, she's very well spoken when she wants to be. And so the one episode where she actually showed herself was on the one where she did it with Jada and Fat Joe, where she was actually getting the artist from New York. And that was hella dope to see her in a different perspective. But it's funny because, like, I'm not a real fan, and not that I'm not a fan. I never heard enough of Chance the Rapper to be a fan, to be honest. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to his music, which this show makes me want to pay attention to his music. But and then T.I., I mean, I'm a huge fan of T.I. I love me some T.I. So, but and I love T.I. because of the progression that he's had through his career as a man, as a father. There's so many reasons why I respect T.I. in different ways. So to see him on the show also, it was great to see him in a different light too. So yeah, y'all, come on, y'all. As much as y'all are doing, I don't even understand.
I'm gonna have to
right
check it
now.
out. I haven't checked it out. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me like when you guys are describing it, I don't know if it's similar to this or not, but it kind of brought back memories of P. Diddy's Making the Band, where he made the band.
No.
Is it like that?
Nah. Because I watched Making the Band, and I loved Making the Band, but this is way doper than Making the Band. This was doper than any of these other type of shows that I've seen. There was even another one recently that Jay and I watched that I can't even remember the name of it, but it had Rick Ross, The Dream, and who was the other? And God, what's his name? He's from Rock Nation. Oh, I can't even think of his name right now, but they had one that was kind of like Rhythm and Flow, where they were looking for rappers. And I think we got, say if there were 12 episodes, we got to 10, and I don't even know if they recorded 11 and 12 because we kept looking for it and we couldn't find it. Jay, what was the name of that show?
I don't know, but it was, yeah. I think the quality of artists on there were just one as good.
Yeah, and this was really dope. The last 4 artists that they had, and so they broke it down, say from like 30 or 30 whatever the number was to 16 to say like 8, and then they went down to like 5 and then 4. So it's not like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not like you keep going through this like no, the last show there were 4 contestants left, and I'm talking about these were 4 artists. They were skilled individuals. They knew what they were doing. They had experience, and one or two of them may have had less experience than the other 2. But when I say they brought the motherfucking business to that show, they brought it like all day, every day. Y'all gotta watch it. It's pretty dope.
Money,
yeah.
you would love this shit. You gotta watch it.
You would love it.
I'm gonna check it out. I just have no input because I haven't watched 32 seconds of it. So
right, yeah.
Y'all making me deaf. You know I love shows like this, so
right,
I'll check it out.
And so I ain't want to just be like be the only one to talk about it. So I want to have Leia on the Leafs because I know she watched it, and like it's usually from shows like this, whether it's hip hop based or pop based or whatever it is, like you enjoy it for the moment, and if you watch it, and then afterwards, if they hit pretty big, you might hear a couple of their songs, maybe not. But like these artists were so dope. Like I went searching for them online, and even some of the ones that didn't make it to the finals. Like it was dope, and especially in today's hip hop, where we always trash them and say, hip hop ain't like it used to be, and hip hop is dead, and lyricism is dead. Like you got to watch this shit.
Really not. Y'all gotta watch this. It was incredible. It was everything for real.
All right, but yeah. So we'll follow up on it. Y'all let me know whenever y'all check it out, and we'll follow up on it on a later episode. But Lay, you gonna stick around for these listener questions?
I can. Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
So, this first question, I kind of got a while ago in our inbox, and it kind of fit along with what we were just talking about. So Kesha from St. Louis wants to know, and Kesha, thanks for your question. Sorry it took so long to get it on the air, but here we go. So Kesha asks, with Game of Thrones gone and Power coming to an end, what show or shows would you recommend folks start watching? Money, what say you?
Man, one of the reasons that, one of the many reasons that I fuck with regular is because he and I are always bouncing shows off one another, and I think we have a lot of the same taste in TV shows. So I mean, it's just some of my personal favorites. I mean, he already kind of mentioned it. There's a comic show called Titans. Season 2 is out. It's really, really dope. If you're not familiar with Titans, it's a comic show, kind of centralized around the DC, younger heroes. It's really, really good. I was really enjoyed the Amazon series called The Boys. What's
that about?
Yo,
The Boys.
The Boys is
Dope. Dope.
I want to tell me a little something.
Nah, you gotta have a strong stomach for it.
The Boys is also a superhero show, but it's a superhero show that kind of like gives you the grim, raw, like, it's like, what if there were superheroes and they weren't all like perfect? So it put me a lot, and if you've seen the movie Brightburn, it put me a kind of like, this could be a show like stemming off of kind of the premise of that movie. Like, what if this superhero, like, something happened and he was all fucked up? So that's all I can really say. Like, you gotta really, if you watch the first episode and you are not completely hooked, then I completely misjudge you. But The Boys is that deal.
If you like vulgarity and superheroes, you'll love The Boys. Yeah, and I'll throw. And I'm so big in the streaming stuff now that I also Amazon has another show called Hannah, which I really thought was a dope show. It's also another show based off of a couple novels. So a lot of these shows that are out now are based off books and novel series, and it's really kind of like Game of Thrones. So if you're really hunting for stuff out there to watch, that stuff is all out there for you. So I'll just give 3, and then I'll kind of cut it off. I'll let other people go. All right. Yosh, what say you? What should people be watching now that Game of Thrones is no longer and Power is coming to an end?
All right. First off, I must say that we should be happy Power's coming to an end.
Stop it.
I just can't take the shit no more. Like,
stop it.
They have made some characters very unbearable this last season.
Yo, like, how Drake? Please, I must have missed it, but how did Drake get off the roof?
Right? Like, what did he do? Jump?
Like, how the fuck did he get off the roof? Like, I just want, that's the only question. I got 2 questions from that episode. How did he get off the roof? And the second episode is, what the hell was Benny thinking when he showed up to Tommy's house to kill him with a knife?
Man, it's so many. Look, y'all gotta listen to Speak the Truth. But we ask about 1,000 questions. How, first of all, for a season and a half, Tasha hadn't known what Terry Silver is. Now all of a sudden she knows what Terry. Now all of a sudden she knows exactly what he is.
Yes,
I was like, what?
They need to stop. Just stop. Like, the end of the mid-season finale needs to be the series finale. Like, stop. Like,
they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yo, listen, when I could not tell how Dre got off the roof, like, I watched it again to make sure I didn't miss it. Like, he was on the roof, and like 2 seconds later, he was running down the street.
Man, he took the elevator, bro.
And he had somebody chasing him.
No, the one way in, one way out that the cops was coming up. That's what he took. Okay.
Maybe he scaled the side of the building like the
Like
dude
Spider-Man,
in
right?
did. Yeah.
Like, and it was like the 30-something floor. He was on the roof of the building.
Hey, well, you know what? To be fair, they do make Dre to be like this super assassin. Like he gets a headshot every time he shoots somebody in any fight scene he's in. So maybe he does have some type of power.
Yo, Dre done survived about 10 hits.
Right?
Like, I don't understand. He the luckiest dude on TV.
I mean, of course he can get off the roof. He probably just jumped and landed on his feet.
Yeah,
like
he
a
probably
Superman
did. Now that I think about it, he probably did just jump.
And then I don't mean to make this about power, but
Yeah, you definitely making this about power.
But Tommy, please, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna move on. But Tommy, like, Ghost didn't do everything. Like, nigga, you got other enemies that would want to kill your girl. I'm just saying, like, I don't. Shit just. He act like Ghost his only enemy. That nigga, his sandwich missing out the fridge. That nigga Ghost took my sandwich. I'm gonna kill that nigga. God damn, man. All right. Anyway.
So
You triggered by power.
Right.
Nah, man, because I was a huge power fan until like last season it started going left on me. And then they killed Angie, so they kind of won me back. But this season just been a series of shit that I'm just like, I can't do this no more to myself.
Who asked this question?
But anyway.
Keisha from St. Louis.
Of course it was Keisha.
Keisha did not ask you to run down a rendition of power.
She didn't, but I took this. What she did say was with power coming to an end, I was bringing the point that it needs to end, so they need to stop. Like, they just need to stop.
She hit a trigger word.
Yeah, power.
Right.
Anyway, some shows to check out. Basically, and I got a couple of them.
Oh shit. First one is don't watch Power no more.
Nah. Like, anyway, I got so much stuff I could go in on that. All of a sudden, Keisha know how to use a gun and kill a dude. Like, man, this shit just too much. Anyway, Succession is a good show.
Succession is so dope.
Succession is dope.
Yo, that shit is low key funny as hell.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they mean for it to be funny, but it is. I don't want to give out no spoilers. I'm gonna go down my list. I spent.
Like, can we get a rundown real quick?
It's about a family who owns a media. They're like media moguls, so they own they're like the TV show's version of Fox News, and they own a media empire, kind of like we are with Defy Life. But it's and then like Succession, like the patriarch of the family is old, so like he trying to figure out, who going step in his shoes and run the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I can give you. That's all I can give you.
So it's like,
I'm trying not to give away too much.
So he's like, so it's like Terrence Howard. What's the name of that show? Lion. Empire. It's like Empire. Empire for media.
Nah, not even almost close.
It's really good. Like Empire, don't even get me started. That's another trigger word.
Oh,
that's
God.
not even.
Okay.
All of a sudden, the sun
Next
is
show.
in London. Anyway, King of Harlem. That's the Bumpy Johnson show. Oh,
Okay.
With
Chris Whitaker, right?
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. Yep. Then there's Billions. I know that it's been out for a little while, but Billions is dope. It's basically like deals with corruption and in New York, attorney. Basically, he's. I'm trying to do it without giving away a bunch, man. It's been out for a while, but it's just like it's slow building. But after you watch by episode 2, you on. I don't really do superhero. Like, I don't really do the superhero shows except for, what's the one you just said, Money? The Boys. But Watchmen is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And that's brand new. That's a brand new show.
That's a brand new show. Watchmen is really good. And if you're looking for a comedy that's an actual comedy, The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh my God, yo. I love that fucking show.
I haven't seen none of these.
I'm like putting all these shows on my phone so I can remember to like.
Yo, listen, The Righteous Gemstones Righteous Gemstones is hilarious.
Yo.
So what is that one about? I need a little more detail. Just a quick rundown. Come on.
It's basically like a televangelist tradition. It's basically the Gemstone family. There's a man responsible for the success of the family and of this mega church, and he lost his wife, and it's just a series of different crap that happened. His past sins are jeopardizing the family ministry, but it's like a funny spin on all of that play.
And it's based in South Carolina.
So it's like funny Greenleaf.
Yeah, and it's actually shot in Charleston.
Right.
It's actually shot in Charleston. Yeah. So that's kind of the cool part of it. And if you got some time, shoot, I say if you ain't got nothing else to do, go back and watch The Wire.
They never go wrong with that.
You could never go wrong with that. And I'm trying to think of anything else like I've watched. I tried to come up with, because I'm into like streaming and all of that stuff. And
me too. I noticed you or I didn't really mention any network shows.
Nah, I mean, because I think network. Oh, wait, there is a network show that I really like. I don't know if people have gotten into it, but it's really good. The Rookie.
Okay, there you go. Fox.
Yeah.
No, The Rookie's ABC.
Oh, it's ABC. My bad.
Yeah, The Rookie. And for anybody, do not watch Raising Dion. That is some of the worst acting I have ever seen in my damn life.
Stop it. I watched the first episode. I liked it. I didn't continue, but I did watch episode 1. I thought it was all right.
And I wonder why you didn't continue.
Right. I'm gonna throw one more. Jay, can I throw one more? Since he went with the Rookie. All right, there is a show that I really love. If you ever watch the show House, it kind of reminds me of House, but it's called The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor is
The Good Doctor.
A good show. Oh my God, it's such a good show.
Yeah, The Good Doctor is a good one.
Made me cry, and I'm a thug.
That dude be getting it, man. That dude be getting it.
That dude, I don't know what his name is. He's an actor, white dude, right?
Yeah, he be on that. He be on that. I just want to be a doctor.
He from the Black. Did any of y'all watch The Blacklist?
No, the good doctor is the guy that's autistic, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, one that's always. Oh, yes, I've watched that one. I haven't watched the last two seasons, I think, and maybe the last season. But no, The Good Doctor's dope as hell. If it's the one about the child, about the doctor that's autistic, that was
Dope show.
It's really, really good. And I think, what y'all think about All American?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
You didn't like it?
Well, I put it this way. I was biased going in because of the whole, like, typical, it had a 90210 feel to me. Like, yeah, like the whole got to go from the hood to it was just typical to me. It was too on the nose.
I do think the acting's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Storylines might need some work, but if you ain't got nothing else to watch,
right?
Like you done binged out. Like, I definitely think it's something that you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. Absolutely,
it wasn't horrible, and it wasn't Raising Dion, but
Hey, Raising Dion wasn't that bad.
Come on, no, Scott.
I love the premise.
I'm only 2 episodes in now.
You're watching it because you have to. You're watching it because you have to. For your show material, for your podcast material, you have to watch Raising Dion.
It is.
That's a great reason, rather. That's an awesome reason.
No, it's an awesome reason. Shouts out to Marvel, Take a Knee for Marvel and DC.
Shouts out to Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC.
Part of the
listeners,
Life Podcast.
Check it out. Really dope show.
Check it out. They'll talk about Raising Dion.
You're right.
Jokes got jokes.
Yo, you know that they gonna do their research. They gonna watch shows. They gonna watch all of them.
So what's Scott got? I want to know what Scott got.
So it's been interesting to hear a lot of what you all are saying, because a lot of it is what I had on my list. Like I had Titans on my list. Billions is one that I've talked about. Yeah, Titans is a comic show. I'm a comic guy, so of course that was going to be on there. The Boys is just a fantastic show. There's not enough has been said about that. It's just a fantastic show. Another show that I think is just a great all-around TV show right now is This Is Us.
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
I rock with This Is Us a lot.
Shoot me now.
Man.
Hey man, I get down with it.
Man.
It's good, dog. It's good, dog.
Me, Scott, and Lynn, we got a chat group going. We love that show.
It's good, dog. Now I don't watch it. I
That's
don't
why
watch
it
it.
ain't allowed in my house when it come on.
I don't watch it because my ex and I used to watch it together, and then we broke up, and I'm like, fuck this show. So
Oh, stop it.
You feel some type of way
Right.
about it.
Yeah, you and Yoshi need to watch it together.
Nope, I'm not watching it. Oh, we forgot one. Scott, I don't mean to, but Top
think?
Boy. If you haven't watched it, Top Boy is good.
Is that the London show?
Yeah. Nah, they say a lot of shit that you don't understand.
Yeah, that's why I can't watch it.
Like, yo, get my tea, boy. Like,
Yeah.
see, some of that shit. Hey, gub, now me, I come. Yeah, no, some of that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
really dope show, good acting, and stuff like that. And Black Mirror. Just
Yeah,
be
Black
careful.
Mirror is dope. Yeah.
Be careful watching Black Mirror. Like, they
Right.
got one episode, disturbed the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all naming all these shows and not giving a little bit of detail? Like, y'all
We
gotta
just-
give a little bit.
Because this will be
Yoshi
a
done
4-hour show.
Yoshi done named about 40 shows.
Right.
Yo, because I watch, like, I'm going to tell you what's crazy. Like, in my off season, when there's no basketball, like, this is my last week of no basketball. When there's all I do is binge watch. How to Get Away with Murder, which I think is a show. You know, but I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Oh yeah, Scott was telling us about his show.
Go ahead,
Well,
Scott.
I think I hit another trigger word when I said This Is Us.
Well,
What
I
are
got you.
those three?
I got your back though, Scott.
Ozark is another really good one on Netflix.
And This Is Us is based in Pittsburgh about a Steelers family. Go ahead.
Ozark is dope.
Ozark,
Ozark,
yeah.
hella good. Yes, I'm waiting for season 3 patiently. When is it coming? What
I don't know. Stranger Things is another one that's real good.
What is
That'll
it?
have Stranger Things on Netflix.
Stranger Things was good. Yeah, that was a good kids one.
Another weekly one I watch with my wife. She's a surgeon, so I probably watch about 6 different doctors surgeon shows. So I watch The Good Doctor, Grey's Anatomy, like other two. There's like 2 other ones that are on that she watches. So we watch all those together, and then we watch Law and Order SVU. I can tolerate that one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sound like you watch a lot of chick shows regular.
Hey man, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Right.
hey,
Enough said.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
No shade at all, my brother. No shade.
I got one show. I've never watched an episode of Power. Don't scream at me.
No,
Jay,
right now.
I'm not dead ass. I've
That's why.
never watched one episode of Power. Jay hasn't
That's
either.
why.
We
That's
just
why I love
don't.
you.
No,
Everybody I
watch
know watches
season.
Power. I don't fucking do it. And I don't know. All right, no laughs because I did watch Empire and I loved it, but I didn't watch like the last 3 seasons. But when I did watch it, I liked it a lot. And a lot of mad heads keep telling me, especially my homegirl Kia, let me tell you, Shorty's been a Power fan since episode 1. Okay? She's always watched Power. But other than Power, let me see. Okay, Game of Thrones. I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. And you know what sucks is that Game of Thrones, they said, like, took 10 years. And how many seasons was it? 8 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I watched it in 6 weeks. I watched 8 seasons in 6 weeks, dead ass. I made my family crazy. There were times I would watch that shit Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday. It was insane. I was making Jay and the kids crazy over Game of Thrones. It was not a game. I had to get caught up in like 2 months to watch the last season. And I got caught up. Fuck that. Dead ass. Within 6 weeks, I was caught up. I loved Game of Thrones. It was the fucking move of all moves when it came to series. HBO did that.
They did.
Anywho, loved me some fucking Game of Thrones. Yes. Who said that? Was that money?
That was me.
Yes,
I fucks with Game of Thrones heavy.
Game of Thrones heavy. So I love me some Game of Thrones, and the only one that I've watched really after Game of Thrones was 100. The one. Yes,
I
yo.
keep hearing that that's good.
Tell you,
No, I wasn't saying. I wasn't agreeing with you. I was saying I forgot a show. So
Of course you did.
You want to name more shows?
Tell us about your other show, Yosh.
nah.
no, I'm giving her a time. I ain't saying nothing. I'm flipping and I'm looking at my continued watching and just watched.
Yes.
Like yo, I'm like shit, I forgot some shit. So
Yo,
I'll continue because I got two more.
Yo, I'm just saying. If you watch Game of Thrones, you would love 100. If you're my sick, because I'm very big on like those old, the like older shows like Braveheart. JR will never watch it with me. He's never seen Braveheart. Braveheart's one of my fucking favorite movies.
I'm not watching it. Jay, I'm with you. Power to the people.
Right.
Like Gladiator, Troy. Anyway,
And Braveheart is kind of a true story.
Kind of.
I love.
Braveheart is kind of whack.
Right.
Kind of a true story.
Braveheart ain't no goddamn true story.
So that shit is true.
Kind of a true story.
That shit is as true as any given Sunday.
No, William Wallace.
Loosely.
William Wallace and Bruce, the Scottish king, and rebelling against King whatever. Yeah, that's kind of a true story.
Anyway,
now
thank you, money. 100.
You know I'm a history buff.
Okay. And then it's okay. So 100. It's kind of like a mix of, let's say, Game of Thrones and Hunger Games. I'm a big Hunger Games fan too. So it was like it's kind of like a mix of the two. It's dope, guys. I'm telling you, 100. If you're looking for something to watch, I think they had 6 seasons. I'm waiting for the next fucking episode to pop up. As soon as it does, I'm gonna be watching it. I mean,
is that the 100 on CW?
I don't know if it's CW. I know I saw it on Netflix, all right, Scott? So I don't know if it's CW. I don't know how long it's been on. I don't know if it's been on for years or what. But I know they got 6 seasons. And I know I watched them on fucking a binge watch on Netflix. And it might have taken me like 2 weeks, but I promise you I watched all 6 seasons within like 2 weeks. Dead ass. I was hooked. It's dope. So if you were Game of Thrones fan, Hunger Games fan, you're going to really dig the 100. Word.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you definitely get missing when that shit was on. So must be pretty decent. But I also like my me time, so I enjoy when you watch the 100. Yosh, what were your other 2 shows?
Hip Hop Evolution. If you haven't seen it,
dope.
There's 2 seasons to it.
That was dope. That was dope.
And Wu-Tang, the saga, is getting better.
Thank you. Yes.
An American Saga is getting really, really good right now.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed the last episode.
Yeah,
so
that's dope.
And I don't know if a new one's out right now. If it is, I'll be watching it.
I think it comes out. It'll come out. Well, for everybody listening, it's today, so it comes out on Wednesday. So, yeah.
Okay. Do a test.
What are your options other than Power and Game?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, Power and Game of Thrones. Well, funny, I've never watched an episode of Power or Game of Thrones, so it really don't matter to me that they're leaving. But yeah, a lot of the ones y'all already mentioned. So other than those, well, I do gotta give another shout out to This Is Us, Scott. You know where we stand with that. And Yosh, Righteous Gemstones. It's definitely at the top of my list, but. One that's been out for a while, but it's still enjoyable. Ballers is one of my favorites.
Ballers. Yeah. Yes. Forgot about that.
Yeah, Ballers is dope. There's a few on Prime Video. So Goliath is a good one. Homecoming is another good one on Prime. And of course my staples are, Blackish, Grownish, those are dope shows. Other than the ones you already mentioned, definitely check out The Boys. But it's and Succession's actually next on my list, so gotta check that out. And the other one I want to start watching is what's the other one on HBO about the porn industry? It's like shot in the 70s. The Deuce.
Oh, what's the name of that shit?
The Deuce. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah. So that's next. So Succession and The Deuce are next up on my list. And yes, like money. I always see Hannah, and I'm about to pull the trigger, but I can never pull the trigger on Hannah. So I might check that out too.
Hannah is good as fuck, dog. You will have to. You gonna watch that first episode and be like, I'm in there. You gonna be
Now,
like,
is it like, is it related to the? Wasn't it a movie called Hannah about a little?
It was a movie, and it's related to the movie.
Okay, so the movie was pretty dope. So I'm gonna check it out. So, but yeah,
I might have to rewatch before I watch that.
You what?
I might have to
movie?
rewatch the movie before I watch that. Make sure I'm in tune with what's going on.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever watch? And I think that it's the very last season coming up now. But did y'all ever watch? What's in the? They shot the first like 3 seasons in Charlotte. And it was
Carmichael show.
No.
Oh,
it was
that was a dope show too, though.
That is a dope show. Yeah. The show about the oh god, what's the name of the damn show? I'm not Sleeper Cell, but the other shit, the new shit, kind of like Sleeper Cell.
Treadstone?
No. But it's got what's Shorty name? Oh god, it's the same dude from Billions. He's the American soldier that comes home from being captured. Homeland.
Oh,
Homeland. Did y'all ever watch Homeland?
Mm-mm.
Homeland is good as fuck too. Nah, then I'll stop now.
Okay. Yeah, I never watched it. All right. Well,
regular, you never watch Homeland?
Nah, I never seen Homeland.
Check it out. Let me know what you think.
Oh well, I mean, while we throwing out a couple of them, I got Barry. Barry's a good one on HBO.
Barry's very good.
Yeah, Barry's really good, and The Leftovers.
I didn't like The Leftovers. I tried to get into it. It was just too. It had too much. It had too much. Too complicated.
I like that weird stuff. It's a
weird
weird show.
Weird. It was very. It was like Legion, which I kind of liked the first season, but then it got super weird.
Basic premise of The Leftovers is the rapture happens, and it's life after the rapture.
Right.
All right. And so now that y'all done gave y'all 20 shows, can I finish mine? But nah.
My bad.
But last one I was gonna say was definitely check out Bloodline. Yo, Bloodline is dope as fuck.
I haven't seen that.
Yo, it's on. Lady, we watched Bloodline. Do you even remember what I'm talking about? Because you be forgetting shit.
Is that the one with the three kids? One was a girl,
Right.
2 were boys.
Yes.
That one, and then looking like the keys.
Yes. Yeah.
That was crazy, y'all. Yeah. I'm just saying that. I mean, it wasn't crazy. It absolutely spoke of the kind of life that you would think that adult Caucasian Americans are living, but not really. Like it was like crooked shit. Like that. Like it just talked about so much family stuff that happens. Like it was definitely relatable to any family, anywhere. It was just dope. It was. I mean, it's definitely involved in the drug game, the corrupt drug game, the fuck we didn't know that we was gonna end up in a drug game kind of life. But it was dope. It was everything and more for real. Y'all gotta watch that one. One, and there's another one that you had us watching, Jay, on Netflix. What was it? Breaking Bad or something like that?
Breaking Bad. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I hope everybody knows about Breaking Bad. But y'all definitely check out the Breaking Bad movie, El Camino. That shit is dope. Like low key, like Prime Video be having some dope ass series, man. Jack Ryan's pretty decent.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, but check out Bloodline. Y'all can hug me through the phone, or you can wait till I see you. But Bloodline's dope as fuck. So, that's all I got. Kesha, appreciate your question.
Yeah, that was a good question, Kesha.
Dope question.
Next question is from Kingston in Virginia Beach. I'm just asked the question first, and then we can talk about whether y'all have heard it or not, or whether you regret hearing it. Kanye's album is trash. Why do people still expect good music from Kanye? Asked Kingston from Virginia Beach. Anybody heard the album, Jesus is King?
I've not.
No.
Nobody?
I have not heard it, but I will say this. I will answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to the question is simply because Kanye is a fucking musical genius.
No, he's fucking not.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. How?
Kanye's a musical fucking genius.
How is Kanye a genius?
He's ultra super talented, but he just be on some weird shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like anything that's weird and different, we like to attach genius to it. So when it sucks, they can say,
I'm not. This new Kanye is weird.
Okay, that's my point though. Like genius doesn't just go away. It has no expiration date.
Before you're allowed to call him weird.
Huh?
What you say, like?
I think I gotta hear it before y'all are allowed to call him weird.
Oh, he weird.
This ain't. I mean, before this trash album, he was weird. But
that's not right, Jay. That's not right. You can't do him like that.
I'm just saying. No, I ain't saying. I ain't saying Kanye's trash. This album is trash. I also don't think he's a genius because people like
so I can't say it's trash.
Either in order to give an educated opinion.
All right. Well, since I'm the only one that's listened to it, it's trash. Like when people say Kanye is a genius, that bothers me because like people that are real geniuses, like people don't forget how to like what makes them a genius. Like you get what I'm saying? Like genius has no expiration date, and so I think we've kind of gotten to this narrative with Kanye, and I get what you're saying, Money, but I think we've gotten to this narrative with Kanye where if anything that kind of goes into a realm that we don't quite get or it gets weird and we don't understand it, we say, that's just the genius in him. I just think it's whack at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I know whack shit when I hear it, but I ain't talking about the whack shit. I'm talking about the genius shit.
But that's from, so did he forget how to be a genius?
Nah,
what's the last genius shit Kanye's done?
He be on some weird shit. That's all I'm saying. Oh, the last
weird because what the fuck is weird compared to normal? What is normal compared to weird? So what do you mean it's a weird? It's weird to whose ear? It's weird to your ear because you don't agree with what he's saying because he has a different opinion. Why exactly is it weird?
Meaning like I don't know Kanye. I don't know Kanye personally, right? But the thing that made him appealing to me as an artist is because his story resonated with me. The dude that Kanye told me who he was in his interviews and in his first 4 albums, like painted this picture of him to me, and now he on some complete shit that's completely different from that picture. And so when I say weird shit, I'm more so saying weird to like the Kanye that I knew, the one that made College Dropout and made me like be like, this dude is crazy talented.
But why was he crazy talented to you then? What's the difference?
I mean, I still think he's crazy talented now. I just think like he's no longer like those aren't the type of things that he's no longer telling you, because some of it just may be a tragedy of his own success, but he doesn't speak that same message anymore.
So what message does he speak?
Compared
now to that he's speaking now, would you say that he's exhibited some type of growth at all?
It's definitely change. I don't know if it's growth, but
So what would you call it?
Weird.
Different.
Something weird.
Different. It's just different. Okay. Had he come out on some of the stuff that he's on now, I wouldn't think it was weird because I would be like, oh, that's the Kanye. That's the same Kanye that I know. but the it's the same dude, but his message is different from, the dude that made Jesus Walks. It's just the tone, everything about Kanye right now is different. Is different to me. But I still fuck with Kanye. Notice I still call him a genius. Like I fuck with Kanye.
I fuck with Kanye too, but I just don't agree that he's a genius. And I think I fuck with him because I couldn't wait for this album to drop because I was interested to see what it was about. But when I say and I'm not grading it on a curve, and I'm not saying it because it's Kanye. It's just whack. Like same way it would be if I bought a Jadakiss CD and the shit was just whack, or if I streamed Rick Ross' new album and the shit was whack, I would just say it's whack. I don't think he gets a pass because what?
That wasn't dope though. That was whack. I mean, that was dope.
I know. I'm not saying I ain't talking about the album itself. I'm just saying I'm grading him on the same level I grade anybody else. I think with Kanye, we kind of get to this thing I don't quite understand it. It's weird. It's because he's a genius. Why his shit just can't be whack? Because the shit's whack.
It can be whack, dog. I haven't heard it. So
and his last, I don't know how many albums, it's just been whack. And when I say it's trash, I'm judging like anybody else. I'm judging production. I'm judging lyrics. I'm judging the message, everything. I think Kanye has gotten to a place, and like you said, we don't know him personally. But we know the message that he's able to deliver when he's spot on. And when he ain't spot on, I don't think he knows how to deliver a message. He's all over the place. And chaos in your life kind of shows in your art. I think that's judging from his art in these last couple albums. That's just the Kanye we see. And it's producing whack content.
Yeah, art is a depiction of life.
But I mean, that's why I always cringe when people say Kanye's a genius, because genius doesn't have an expiration date. People don't forget how to be a genius at whatever they're genius at. Kanye's just don't
genius.
Have it. So that's what I'm asking you. What puts him on a genius level?
Because I can't take all of his accomplishments away from him, because now he making whack music.
I ain't saying accomplishments. You say genius. What makes him a genius?
What do you mean? There was a time when if any artist was hot, I don't want to say any artist, but a lot of artists was hot. It was because Kanye was delivering that genius through his production.
Yeah, but
maybe
we have two different concepts of what genius is, right?
For instance,
you can be really good at something. Yeah, you can be really good. You can be great at something and not be a genius. So what makes him a genius is what I'm asking.
I think he's a genius. I think he's a musical genius.
All right, so
the shit that he does, other people don't do.
So regular Scott, Yosh,
what up?
So if I ask you to give me the definition of a house, and your answer is a house is a house, that's not an answer, right?
No, I know what you're saying.
So
I know what you're saying.
I'm not going to ask anymore because you're not giving me an answer, because every time
I don't know how to quantify it. If you don't know, music heads know what you mean when you say Kanye a genius.
I'm a music head. So
I know you
that's
are.
Why, so that's what I'm asking.
But you're just trying to make a point.
No, I'm not trying to make a point. I'm trying to get your point, because I ask Keon the same thing. He says that all the time, and I get the same answers just because he is. And that kind of is the microcosm of what I'm saying. Is nobody can tell you why Kanye's a genius. It's just that we have this narrative that everybody says Kanye's a genius, but nobody can tell you why. And
because I think it's clear that his mind thinks differently from others. So I don't think that you can say that honestly and believe that, because Kanye is clearly a genius just with the way he begins to try to articulate himself, and he loses himself in the process, because it's like he's thinking about so many things at once that he doesn't even know how to explain where it is that his mind is going. That's why
that makes him a genius,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
No,
But
it doesn't.
No.
and I understand
In
how
that
that's
case,
no
both
and
of my
that's
kids are
not okay.
geniuses.
Absolutely, but
Yo,
they are.
okay, so your statement was that he starts off one way, but there's so many things going on in his mind that it comes out in a sense of confusion, so to speak. That's basically what you're saying?
And that's actually how a lot of geniuses communicate.
Okay, so Amir's a genius because he got out the tub to take a piss and he peed on the wall, on the toilet.
See now
everywhere.
y'all being funny.
No,
I'm
like
not
we
being
being funny because that shit is funny, man.
That
Like
shit is, what you're saying makes no. Okay,
None.
so you're saying one of two things, Money. Either A, he's a genius, or we dumb as fuck. Because either you're saying he's a genius in a sense of he goes in there with one mindset, and since he can't focus because he got ADHD or whatever the fuck it is, he can't focus on whatever it is he's trying to get out. So he gets out all of this mess, and we call this genius.
So,
Okay,
dude,
okay.
most
No.
genius level people have mental deficiencies.
So Money. So that means
but that ain't,
so that
we
means
talking about
we're
them.
of lesser
We're talking about
people.
Kanye.
Most genius level
Not
IQ
talking
people
about-
struggle in what we would consider normal area.
Okay. Yeah, my son struggles peeing in the toilet.
Right, like and
I'm just saying, like, if that's the case,
You may think that's fucking crazy, but he may be in a fucking.
I'm not saying he's crazy. I'm just saying Kanye's a dude that's really, really good at something, at one thing, but it don't make him a genius,
Right.
right?
yeah,
and
like
so,
sometimes,
like we
sometimes
can,
you could just make bad. You could just make bad. You can make something that's just not good. It doesn't make it genius because it's not good because
right.
we don't understand it. It might just be that it's just not good.
I understand that. I haven't
so-
heard the album, so I can't say that.
And so until I ask somebody that claims Kanye is a genius and they can actually give me an answer, I'm gonna continue saying the same thing. The nigga's not a genius. He's just a dude who's really good at something, who can't articulate his thoughts very well. That don't make you a genius in my book.
Wow. True
I
that.
mean, he might be dyslexic. We don't know.
Right. Like
Be a whole bunch of different shit.
You
I
can
mean-
be dyslexic and be a genius.
right, but he
Okay.
might just be dyslexic. That's what he said. He might
not
just be
be a
dyslexic.
genius.
Exactly. Like
But
nothing you're saying.
I'm not talking
like,
about the way he communicates that makes him. I'm saying I said
you just
he is
jumped
a
on the
musical-
bandwagon and said a lot
I
of people
said
that are
he
geniuses
is a
can't communicate.
musical genius.
Right.
That's
So,
what I said.
and I asked you how. You said because he's accomplished a lot. He gave a lot of people dope beats.
But most geniuses are artists in some type.
I'll preface it with like, okay, everybody's a genius at something, if you want to put it that way, right? So, but like, if we're quantifying Kanye as a genius musically, like, I just don't quantify because like geniuses we've seen musically, like Prince was a genius musically.
Yes,
Like,
he was.
Like Kanye does nothing. Like he makes really dope beats. He used to. Like Prince, like I can guarantee you, like before Prince died, he ain't just forget how to play instruments. And all his music was whack because he forgot how to do it. Like
So as far as Kanye being a genius, here's on my show I love to play the devil's advocate, so I might end up playing both sides here. But as far as him being a genius, one kind of aspect you can look towards is his 808s and Heartbreak was pretty much all kind of the kind of music you hear now. He was very much ahead of his time as far as his music goes. Like if that album dropped today, people would love it because it fits the style of what was playing now. That didn't work back then because that wasn't what the music was playing. But now that type of music is in. Like he was very ahead of the curve as far as what was going to work and whatnot. I think you can be a genius, a musical genius, and still put out a bad album.
I agree.
Okay, and I don't disagree with that, but I'm asking, like, the question still hasn't been answered.
Well,
What makes him a genius?
He just gave you a very good example.
No, that doesn't make you a genius because you do something that hasn't been done yet.
Well, yeah,
you're ahead of your time.
I think that attributes to it. Like, I mean, I think being a genius is more than just kind of one thing. It's a culmination of things. Like, he was very good and strong in his craft as far as producing. He put out really good rap lyric albums, and his music was kind of ahead of its time and whatnot. Like, I think
he made one album. Like you named one album that was kind of ahead of its time.
Well, but I don't think he made more because that wasn't what was going to work at that time. Like, you're not going to keep putting out an album that's not going to work.
I ain't saying it's going to be the same type of album out. What I'm saying is, like
this dude. Okay.
No. Okay, I ask a question. You can't answer it, but it's this dude. I'm asking a question.
We answering the question. You don't like the answers.
Because that doesn't qualify as a genius. Like, nobody said Albert Einstein's a genius because he thought of this before. Like, no, like.
What do you mean? That's literally the things that make you a genius.
No, it's not.
All
right. Like the dude who came up with the concept of podcast, is he a genius?
Maybe.
But does that make him a genius? No, hell no. Like, y'all just giving me examples of great things he's done. That don't make him a genius.
So what does quantify a genius?
A genius, like, and to do something at a genius level, like, even if you've done it first, it means that, like, you're the only one that can do that thing. You're in the 1% of people who can do that thing. Kanye ain't the 1% of people who can rap, produce, make beats. Like,
okay, but hold on. Okay, so genius. The definition of a genius is an exceptional intellectual or creative power or other natural ability.
Like, you sound like a robot.
Okay, so it's an exceptional intellectual or creative power or other natural ability.
Like,
Number two definition,
you sound like we can't understand you.
I don't understand what happened.
Hello?
Is that better?
Not really.
Still a little Bobby Digital-ish, but
Bobby Digital.
I heard her definition of a genius and I fuck with it.
So
regardless, I think the album was trash.
The album was trash.
I mean,
last three albums been trash, and like the question that who asked this question? The original question was, why do we still expect him to put out good music? And is it because he's a genius? Is that what you're saying, Money?
As I always expect him to give me something I can listen to because I think he's a musical genius. That's my answer. But I haven't heard the album.
When you listen to it, please don't. That shit is trash. Like, even on Kanye levels of the last three albums that were trash, that shit is trash. But I don't know. I'm still in. Maybe I'll get to ask Keon Small in a couple weeks if he's figured out that answer. Because nobody's able to give me an answer on why Kanye is a genius. But appreciate it, Kingston from Virginia Beach. Yosh, you didn't chime in much. Do you still expect Kanye to put out good music?
Not since College Dropout. My Kanye meter is low. So the bar is set really low. So it's what it is. I was a fan first album, and then it just kind of died out. So
yeah. Oh, Scott, do you still expect it to be good?
I expect at least two or three really good songs. At least.
So now Kanye is Mace.
Hey, y'all laughing? But that's probably a really good comparison
That
with
is a
Kanye
great
and expectation.
analogy.
Yeah, that's probably really good and what to expect from him from now on. Like you're gonna get two, or you should get two. Like, tell me this, Jay. There are at least 2 or 3 songs on there that are like, all right, I can rock with this.
Nope.
Gotta be. Come on, it's gotta be.
I'm telling yo, it was one that I could listen to again from beginning to end.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Jay. You're not gonna give him no more credit than that. Maybe one.
Like, what, I'm grading Kanye on a curve now because he's Kanye? Like, this shit is trash.
I hear you. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, I can't speak on it. I gotta check it out.
Like, it's bad. And, and I guess, like, again, speak about Mace. I guess, like, you get a whole Jesus album from, a rapper. You just kind of, anyway. But it's pretty fucking bad. So, shout out to you, Kingston.
Great question.
Yeah.
We hope you know what a genius is now.
I know what a genius is, and Kanye ain't that. Like, y'all making genius seem like pornography. Like, I don't know what it is, but I ain't got no definition to it, but I know what it is when I see it. That's what y'all making genius seem like.
I can tell you this: whoever did come up with the porn industry is a genius.
Hey, now that's a genius.
He's a genius. He is a genius.
A rich one at that.
Exactly.
Man. Well, Kingston, Kesha, appreciate y'all's questions. Y'all keep sending these questions, and we definitely appreciate them. If you got anything you want to ask us, anything you want to get off your chest, or if you just disagree with something we say on the show, hit us up. You can email us at info@godefylife.com, or you can hit us up on social media at godefylife on all platforms. We're going to jump into a commercial really quick, and we will come back, and we'll talk some NFL Week 8 and some NFL Week 8 and NBA early week action. We'll be right back.
Best Medicine Podcast with Simba, sparking positive change in the community, having real conversations and therapy. And that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. Come get your weekly diagnosis Thursday at midnight, only on the Defy Life Podcast Network. Check us out, though.
We are back, episode 131 of the Defy Life Podcast. Shout out to my man Simba Jackson and the Best Med Podcast, Simba Roar. Y'all definitely check it out here on the Defy Life Podcast Network. Proud of you, Simba. Keep grinding, sir. We left off. We answered some listener questions, and we are going to jump into the question we ask every week. We got one question surrounding the NFL. Money. What do you know you know? What do you know after week 8 in the NFL?
Well,
I think I know where this is going.
I'm going to keep mine short and sweet, but it's definitely going to be about them Carolina Panthers. And I think West Coast said it best. These backups are all right. These backups are all right. I've been screaming about Kyle Allen's advanced stats for a month. Just digging into the numbers, and I just don't like what I see. And didn't do much to prove me wrong. I mean, we have plans here in Charlotte saying trade Cam Newton. What I know after week 8 is we better not trade Cam Newton.
Yeah, better not. Yeah, can't argue with that. Yosh, what do you know after week 8 in the NFL? Yosh go get some more Hennessy.
Yeah, Yosh definitely went to get some Henny.
All right. Scott, what do you know after week 8 in the NFL?
So I know two things. And the first thing is shout out to my Buffalo Bills. At the beginning of the year, I picked them as my sleeper team. Mm-hmm. And our 5-2 record is doing me well right now. So what I know is that we are on the cusp of really kind of breaking through. And I think that teams should be very aware, because we will get to the playoffs, and should be very afraid of facing us in the playoffs. I know that. I also know that there is no replicating or replacing great quarterback play. And I think Aaron Rodgers has just shown that in spades. Like, I mean, I know he's had a great defense to put him in great positions, and running back has been there for him, but he hasn't had his lead receiver, and he's still been looking like Aaron Rodgers of old. And and you can see now a big difference in Kansas City without Mahomes. Just there's no replicating great quarterback play. Tom Brady doesn't get enough credit because he's not putting up these 350, 400-yard games, and he's not getting the credit that he deserves, but he's still the best game manager in the league. So you just can't replace great Russell Wilson. I mean, look at what he's doing. You can't replace that type of play. And you see the teams who have great quarterback play.
That's the damn truth. Yeah. And again, and on top of that, how lucky are teams that have backups that can maintain? Like, how lucky is like New Orleans to have a Teddy Bridgewater? Go 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater just in time for Drew Brees to come back. Like, yeah, without quarterbacks, you're dead in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Lay.
Yeah.
You watched the Steelers game yesterday, so I know you can give me something that you know after week 8 in the NFL. What did you
look? Guys, I'm not a real football fan. I know that it's kind of difficult to understand being JR's wife and all, right? But the Steelers, let me tell you, I took Jay to his first game for his 40th birthday at Heinz Field. How dope is that? I mean, come on.
Right.
What kind of wife is this? That's pretty fucking dope, isn't it?
She had more fun than cool. I did.
Super dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, dead ass. I never liked football in my life like that. I always liked baseball. Come on, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from the fucking Bronx. Like, we baseball people, basketball. I used to watch the niggas growing up playing ball and shit. JR starts asking me what type of plays and shit's happening in the basketball. I was like, nah, son, I don't know none of that. I just watch the football, call it a day. But nah, this weekend, what's his name? Mason Rudolph? Mm-hmm. Man, let me tell you, me and him, if we could have a couple of words, I'd be like, Poppy, what's really good? Like, what's going on? I need to know what's happening in your life right now. I could give you a little room of touch massage. I could hook him up. I'm telling you. Because the Steelers, ever since I went to that first game with Jay, it was a wrap. I'm an official Steelers fan. It's all the way there. That's just what it is. I'm a fan. I'm a New Yorker all day. I represent all my New York teams all fucking day, every day. But them fucking Steelers, yo, man, it wasn't nothing like that. Heinz Field was beautiful. Anyway, this weekend, Mr. Rudolph, he made me very upset. All the way in order. He got it in order a little bit, and they did their motherfucking thing, but that's because they're the Steelers. But anyway, yeah, me and your boy Rudolph, we can have a couple of words.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were screaming for them to bench him in the first quarter. But,
yeah,
you got it together.
I was like, they need to fucking take him and bring, what's his name? Right. What is his name? Duck? What's his?
Hodges, what is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hodges.
You need to bring your boy back because I was digging him. He was doing his thing. I don't know what happened with Mr. Rogers, but I mean, not Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rudolph. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I know about football, guys. I don't know much else. Don't laugh.
I wasn't expecting much more. So you watched the game, and you saw, like Scott just said, without stellar quarterback play, it's hard to be competitive in the NFL. So, the Steelers at this point, if they finish 9-7, 10-6, if they get to the playoffs, Mike Tomlin deserves Coach of the Year. There's no question. To be on essentially your fourth quarterback at some point in the season, it's no reason why they shouldn't be like a one-win team at this point. But they finding ways to win, so I can dig it. It's a different perspective, as like Scott, as you mentioned, like when you have a quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger's been there for 16 years, when you have that luxury, like you're going to be in every game pretty much. And so, like, for your expectations to go to see him injured for the year and your expectations to go from shit, we're a contender to let's just see how this goes. It's a different perspective. So it definitely dropped the expectations a lot. And you just get to see the young guys grow. And if good things come of it, so be it. But it's different, and it's kind of fun actually. So I guess I feel like a Bills fan.
Hey man, I'm telling you, y'all, everybody was sleeping on me when I first mentioned them. Y'all keep sleeping on Buffalo. That's how we like it. We needed this. We just took an L last week, but we needed that. Like we needed that wake up call. We got a little too comfortable, so we will come back next week hungry.
Well, yeah, I mean, 5-2 ain't nothing to sneeze at. So, if it took you after week 8 and somebody told you you'd be 5-2, this weekend would just be one of those two. So you take it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yosh.
Yep.
What's one thing you know after week 8 in the NFL?
This is a wacky, crazy season. I mean, even if you're a fantasy owner, people that you thought were gonna perform or not, or are injured, and between injuries and changing of the guards and just like trades, and it's just this season is so up in the air. I don't think anybody could call anything. I don't think after any week anything per se, because you got so much going on, and I've almost questioned, is the NFL as popular as it was? Because of, does that make sense? Like, I know it's popular, but like where you used to run, like if the Giants on, I remember there was a time in my life I would watch anything football. Shit, I'd go out and watch a damn powder puff game. Like just to get my football fix until the NFL came back on.
Yeah. And
now I'm like, if the Giants ain't playing, I ain't really.
Yeah, and I think that kind of speaks to like personal growth as well.
Well, I guess so, maybe.
Because I can't do that either. There's certain Sundays if I don't have nothing to do, I can watch a game. But if I got somewhere to go, I go somewhere. It used to be like I would have to shut down everything on a Sunday, and I got to watch football all day. And it ain't necessarily the case. Now, if the Steelers are playing, I'm going to be there. That's must-see TV. But, I guess and as a kid, and I couldn't understand why, like my father used to always say, man, I used to watch football all the time. I just can't do it like I used to. And I would always be like, what do you mean? Like, but now I'm just like, as you get older, you have different interests, and, you have families and kids, and like, it just doesn't draw you in. So, I guarantee you there are, a younger you somewhere that still has to be there in front of the TV every day.
Well, I mean, and in that case, I still feel like football is, an amazing sport. I have no problem watching it. I just think that, some things in the game have changed. Like, I used to be a nut for defense. I used to love watching defense just take heads off. And one of my favorite hits is Jack Tatum on Ahmad. Oh, God. It wasn't Ahmad Rashad. Who was it? Who took his head off? God dog it.
Stingley? What did that? I can't remember who that was.
I don't know, but he took his head off, and I still remember that. Like, it's just like those hit Ronnie Lott, and that's not happening now. Offenses have free will to do whatever. I don't want to watch a 52-40 game. Like, it doesn't interest me, and I think that's what I know. Offenses have if there's one thing I know, offenses have been catered to way too much, where it's taking a little bit of the joy out of the game for me. That's what I know.
Absolutely. All right. Really quick with the NFL. Yosh, back to you. I mean, with the NBA. Sorry, back to you. 1 weekend on the NBA season. What's one early impression you have from the NBA season?
My predictions are looking okay.
The Lakers are 3-1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Stop it, bro.
My predictions are looking okay.
No, they're not.
Who else did you put?
Stop.
No, they're actually looking pretty bad right now.
No, I picked Ja Morant to be Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Lakers to miss the playoffs.
That ain't gonna work.
Okay. Hey.
I'm not getting in this debate with you tonight.
You don't have to get in a debate with me.
Tell us what else is looking great about your prediction, Joe.
What else did I pick? Milwaukee Bucks. They're looking pretty good. I think
Houston's
doing
missing
all right.
the playoffs. I guess you're batting 500.
I'm doing all right.
All right. Scott.
I will say this. Ja Morant, I didn't think he was going to do that the other night. But then again, Kyrie doesn't play defense. So, but
yeah, and
Ja looked really good the other night.
Yeah, Ja looked good. And apparently people are already complaining about Kyrie in Brooklyn and the organization already. And they're tired of his mood swings.
Well, I will say this. Ja Morant's senior year, I did not pick him as player of the year of our region. One of his AAU coaches texted me after the game because he was at the game, and he was like, "See, you should have voted him player of the year." So it was all in fun. So it was cool, and I said, "I want to be sitting in them seats in about 2 years. Don't worry about it."
Yep.
But no, it was amazing to watch him play. Like he's just good.
Yeah,
so
shout out to
and right, I would complain about Kyrie too. Like I knew that wasn't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Him and KD is not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean Kyrie in anywhere right now probably ain't gonna work.
No.
No. Scott, what's one early impression you have of the NBA season?
Well, as a new Miami Heat fan, one of my early impressions is you get a kick out of that, huh? Hey, listen.
Yo, I'll fuck with you for that, for real though.
Hey,
I
why
wish you would have picked the Hornets though. Why the Heat?
All right, so one thing that was really important to me as far as picking this was I wanted to pick a team that had some stability and a foundation up top. And Miami's been pretty stable up top as far as Pat and Spoelstra go. So that was just kind of a big decision. Hero, and I love Hero. So Jimmy's solid. It was between them and OKC. And what they had in the front office it was the determining factor as far as Miami goes. Okay. I feel like they'll always kind of be in the mix as long as they have good people in the front office.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, my first impression is I love the parity right now in the NBA. I'm not a Pat Beverly fan. I know he works hard, he plays hard, he's a real tough guy. He's just not my cup of tea. But I love the chip that he's got on his shoulder right now, where he's just kind of being like, "We here this year," and he's letting everyone know. I hope he keeps that same energy come playoff time because it's going to be very different. We're going to see how teams gel and whatnot. But I love the parity right now in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's my biggest concern for the Clippers is them exhausting so much energy to prove themselves in the regular season that they peak too early and they don't have anything left for the playoffs. Like we've seen it happen time and time again. So I'm hoping that, like you said, we see the same energy in the playoffs.
Well, and because like teams and players, you can't take days off. Like you can't have guys resting in the Western Conference when you're jockeying for if you're going to fight for a playoff position.
Right.
Because you're going to have to put your best foot forward every night.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's going to be so critical for teams in the West, like for the Lakers, Clippers, teams that are favorites, to jump out to really good starts. Like the Lakers, Clippers, they really have to jump out to like a 27-5 record or something, like, so you're not having to scrap every night to keep that position. So, and we know, traditionally LeBron over the last 4 or 5 years kind of coasts through the regular season and turns it up in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to be able to do that this year. So, let's see. Money, what's your early impression?
My early impression is, it's very early.
Right.
Definitely, but I like some of the way that I still like the very young Kings roster. I like the young Bulls roster. My impression is like the teams that went young are giving their young kids a chance to play and grow. The Knicks, the Hornets, the Bulls, the Suns, the Kings. So even though those teams have like veteran players, you're not really seeing them get a lot of time. The Hawks are another team that comes to mind. So I kind of, the early impressions is we'll see which of those young rosters can really play above where they think they are and be better than even what they think they can be. So I'm really interested to see how that shakes out.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, you got a long season. We're talking about the NBA a whole lot moving forward. But with that being said, y'all ready for some trivia? Nobody's ready for trivia.
I'm ready, Jay.
Thank you. Everybody else is whimpering out on me. Well, oh, you guys still here. Scott, you still there? Oh, shit. Scott been disqualified already?
Hey, look, I heard trivia, and I had to go get another beer.
Oh, shit. All right. Money, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Lay, you still there? All right. Well, she might be watching the 100. All right. So, this week's trivia, we got 4 categories, each with 3 questions, a 1, a 2, and a 3. First category is sitcom child stars.
Oh, God.
So I give you a kid from a sitcom, you give me the answer. Pretty simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is Nehu. 90s R&B groups. Do you know why I call this category Nehu?
No, please tell me.
Think about every 90s R&B song. What's the first beat? Nehu. All right.
I know I can count on you.
Right. There you go. So Nehu's the second category. Third category is hip-hop proteges. I'll give you a description of a hip-hop protege, and you give me their name. And final category is pro athletes in the military. Pretty self-explanatory. All right? Everybody clear?
Yep.
All right. Who won last week? Yosh?
What was the last one, Jay?
Pro athletes in the military.
Okay.
All right. So, Yosh, on you first. Where we going?
Sitcom TV stars. Kid stars.
All right. Sitcom child stars. 1, 2, or 3?
Let's go 3.
All right. Sitcom child stars. This guy was the middle brother in the sitcom Smart Guy and later had roles in movies Drumline and ATL. Who is he?
We gotta give the real name?
Yes.
Man, of
10,
course.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Was it
1.
Marcus Henderson?
Marcus Henderson is incorrect. That was his name on the Smart Guy. But actually, real name was Jason Weaver.
Oh.
Had no clue.
Yeah. Jason Weaver also sang the Lion King parts for Simba in the original Lion King.
Oh, wow.
He also played a young Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5 movie. All right. On to you, Money. Where we going?
Child sitcom. No. Fuck that. Give me another category.
I got Nehu, 90s R&B groups, hip-hop
Give me
proteges.
90s R&B groups for 2.
90s R&B groups for 2. This group is comprised of Babyface's 2 brothers, Melvin and Kevon Edmonds, and the third member, Keith Mitchell. The group scored a number of hits early in the 90s. Who are they? 10, 9.
Blackstreet?
That is incorrect, sir. After 7.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck is correct. Scott.
That is correct.
Where are we going?
Let's go athletes in the military for 1.
Athletes in the military for 1. After winning the American League Triple Crown in 1942, this Boston Red Sox star served in the U.S. Navy and U.S. Marine Corps from 1943 to 1945.
That's the one?
What?
Dwight W. Eisenhower.
This is a really, really easy one. I don't even follow.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh
my God. You telling me?
What that countdown at?
10, 9, 8.
What year
7.
did you say it was?
I'll repeat the question because I didn't get to finish it. After winning the American League Triple Crown in 1942, this Boston Red Sox star served in the U.S. Navy and U.S. Marine Corps from 1943 to 1945, training as a pilot, while also playing baseball in the Army. He returned to win the batting crown again in 1946. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth is incorrect. Ted Williams was the last man to win the Triple Crown.
Ooh, boy, Jay, you crazy.
No clue.
All righty. Yosh, it's on you.
Oh, shit.
Let's go. Hey,
That boy
figure
said
you
Babe
take all
Ruth.
the 3s off the board, you be all right to catch up later. Let me get the people or the athletes in the military for 3.
Athletes in the military for 3. This Hall of Fame quarterback, nicknamed Captain America, was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 1964 draft.
Oh,
But he did not play until 1969 due to his commitment to the serve in the armed forces.
shit.
10,
Oh, that's
9,
fuck.
8, 7.
The one that they
6,
always
5,
shit. Roger Staubach.
4. Roger Staubach is correct, sir. All right. 3 for Yosh. All right, Money, it's on you.
Give me that last military joint.
Pro athletes in the military for 2. After an All-American career at the Naval Academy, he was drafted number 1 overall, but had to wait 2 years before debuting in the NBA.
Oh God, that's
10,
an easy layup.
9.
David Robinson.
David Robinson is correct.
That should have been 1.
How was that no, you know what? I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna do
Right.
it. I'm not gonna do it.
Thank
I'm not
you.
gonna do it.
Even though you already dipped your toe in that water, but that's okay.
I know. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Scott, where we going?
You know, the only reason I picked that military category was because I knew David Robinson was going to be a question, and I figured it was going to be the one. I picked the wrong one.
You picked the wrong one.
Give me the child sitcom actors for one.
Sitcom child stars for one. She played the adorable, precocious youngest of the Cosby kids on The Cosby Show.
Ooh.
There's
Lizzie.
two different ones.
Lizzie up.
Raven. What?
Nope. Listen
What
to
was
the
that?
question. Listen to the question. She played the adorable, precocious youngest of the Cosby kids on The Cosby Show.
Raven Simone.
Raven Simone is incorrect. She was not a Cosby kid. She was a stepchild of one of their husbands. The Cosby kids, the youngest one was Rudy, played by Kesha Knight Pulliam.
Trick question.
Yeah, you see, you set me up. I knew I should have picked the two. The two.
What are you doing?
I even accentuated the Cosby for you, but
yeah, he even let you know it wasn't Raven Simone by saying, "Listen to the question,"
right?
Because you was already out there talking about
Raven. I'm so Raven. Yeah.
Listen, it was already coming out my mouth before you even finished the question. I couldn't stop myself.
All right, Yosh, where we going?
Same category for two.
Same category for two. Ray J's big sister starred in this 90s sitcom. 10,
Brand.
9, 8, 7. Brandy. Brandy is
No,
incorrect.
Moesha.
The name of the sitcom was Moesha.
Oh, the sitcom was Moe. I thought you.
No, you got it wrong. It's my turn.
I got it wrong, but I thought that early on it was like you give the whatever and you gave the actor's real name. So
No, I said I'd give you
that's
the...
what was said earlier. But okay,
That's the name of the sitcom. That's what
I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
Yeah.
We good. Move on.
Money.
What we got left, Jay?
We have R&B groups. You have the 1 and the 3. You have all of hip-hop proteges, and you have pro athletes in the military for 2. Nope. Nope. All of those.
Isn't that
are-
close?
Yeah,
that's close.
Yeah.
So pro athletes.
You have hip-hop proteges, all of them, and 90s R&B groups for 1 and 3.
Give me 90s R&B groups for 3, please.
90s R&B groups. No. This Texas-based quintet first hit it big in the early 90s thanks to the number 1 hit, I Like the Way, The Kissing Game. The group disbanded.
That would be High Five.
High Five is correct.
I like the way you kiss me when we're playing the kissing game.
You saved that talk for you and West Coast Jay, sir. Scott, where we going?
Oh man, let's go hip hop proteges for 1.
Hip hop proteges for 1. This guy is actually the protege of a protege, scoring big with his debut in the club in 2003.
Ooh.
50 Cent.
Layup
Is correct.
Layup. Easy. You on the board, young kid.
Yeah. Score recap. Yosh has 3. Money has 5. Scott has 1. All right. Well, Yosh, where we going?
Proteges for 3.
Hip hop proteges for 3. Before he was making hit songs, even before he was producing I'm sorry, let me start over. Even before he was making hit songs or producing hit songs for Jay-Z, Kanye West was learning how to be the best, and it was this producer teaching him how to do it. It is from him that a 15-year-old Kanye learned how to do his famous sampling.
Oh shit.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is shit. Dame Dash, I guess. I don't fucking know.
That's incorrect. Correct answer is actually no ID.
Yeah, no ID. I knew that one too. Let me get the last one, number one for hip hop. I mean for R&B.
R&B
New
groups
weed.
number one. The highest selling R&B group of all time had countless hits such as End of the Road and On Bended Knee.
Oh God.
Boys to Men.
Boys to Men. Yo, money, 1 point for you. And Scott for shits and giggles. Last question is hip hop proteges for 2.
All right, let's do it.
When he was just 17, this now legend stood outside of Jay-Z's Rock the Mic studio for 3 hours to hand him a track, but Hov snubbed him. Jigga would later gift him his original Rockefeller chain after signing him. Who is this rapper? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Freeway.
5.
BBC.
Incorrect. J. Cole.
Yeah, that's J. Cole. I knew that one too.
I didn't know that.
I was high tonight.
With that being said, Money is the winner. Congratulations, sir.
Bring the crown home, baby. Bring the crown home.
Absolutely. All right. You won tonight. It's your parting shot, sir.
Hey, my parting shots, man. I don't have a lot to say, man. Just always appreciate the fans and the listeners. You already know we do this for you guys. Once again, it's been another great show with my family. Couldn't ask for a better one, man. Shouts out. We got an impeachment query in full steam, so y'all be on the lookout for that. And you already know what I'm gonna say, man. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
Yeah, no doubt. Yosh, pulled up second, man. What you got for me?
Just a little something out there here in South Carolina. Another coach got caught up this past week. This week. It just came out yesterday. Confirmed. Came out happened last week. The buzz, and then came out this week. Messing with a student.
Dang.
Just fathers, talk to your daughters. Mothers and fathers, talk to your sons. Mothers, talk to your daughters as well. These guys, they don't have no morals, no ethics, or anything. And this guy, I considered him, if you'd have told me this before the facts came out, I'd have told you he was a liar. But it just goes to show that you never know anyone until you know them. So, just watch what's going on at your schools. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Scott, what you got for me, man?
I appreciate you having me on again. It's always a pleasure to be on the flagship, to share the platform with you guys. Check out Take a Knee from Marvel vs. DC on Sundays. We always got some pretty good content. This next episode, we'll be talking about Titans, kind of the first half of the season there. So there's a little preview for you. And again, I just want to reiterate that I did get on the board. So if you hear any type of rumors or any type of, rumblings that there's these tapes that they've talked about, just know that I'm proving it every time I've been on, that we have record of, that I've scored. So these tapes that they're making up are just false.
Yeah, you got your 1 point. Shoot them haters down, man. Good. Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck y'all, man.
Hey, I got on the board. I hit
right. All right, man. I ain't got nothing crazy. As always, my weekly roundup for my Panthers, the South Fork Panthers. Shout out to Lincoln's team. They won their first playoff game this past Saturday, and they will play for the city championship this coming Saturday. I will not be there, but shout out to them, man. So they get to face the only team that beat them.
I'll be there.
Now, what the fuck you?
What the fuck you been?
Man.
In fact, never
all right.
shows.
Right. So shout out to the South Fork Panthers. They get their revenge against the Ducks and get a chance to move on to the regionals in Virginia Beach. My only other thing I got is shout out again to we have done it here a few times, but not in a while. So I think we'll do shout out to LeBron, man, for just being the human he is, with all the wildfires in California. LeBron has bought out taco trucks and food trucks to feed the first responders there, something that even the city hasn't done. So shout out to LeBron for always being conscious of what's going on around him on and off the court. So, you know, nothing but good things to say about that dude, man. He always gets it. And did hear from West Coast Jay. Everyone knows he is out visiting family for a wedding on the West Coast, and he is fine. So he did confirm that he's doing okay. He sent back a disturbing picture of a bridge burning down that they had to go around. So I'm sure he'll send y'all that. But West Coast Jay is fine. Lay, are you there? And she's gone again. All right. Well, that's all I got. Shout out to Pooh. Shout out to West Coast. Shout out to Al. Again, everybody check us out next week. It'll be the final episode of this show as you know it, as we send West Coast some money off to college, and they go make men of themselves. But this has been episode 131 of the Defy Life Podcast. We'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.